LTAT's flagship-listed vehicle, Boustead Holdings, is suing its former chairman, Tan Sri Muhammad Ghazali Chemat, its managing director, Tan Sri Lodin Wok Kamarudin, and 4 others for purported breach of fiduciary duty. The suit, which was filed in June, is seeking jointly from them a sum of £6.4 million, or about 35.37 million ringgit at current value. The remaining 4 are Boustead's former directors, Dato' Azad Kamaluddin, Dato' Francis Tan Lekia, Dato' Sri Ghazali Muhammad Ali, and Dato' Wira Dr. Megat Abdul Rahman Megat Ahmad. Lodin resigned from Boustead and its subsidiaries in 2018, while the others left the company last year. The matter came up for case management today before Kuala Lumpur High Court Judge Justice Datin Rohani Ismail. She decided in chambers to transfer the case from the Civil High Court to the Commercial High Court. Boustead has been reporting losses since FY 2018. The Edge Weekly previously reported that Boustead is expected to embark on a massive debt restructuring exercise, which will include the sale of non-core assets to improve its long-term financial position. According to sources, the upcoming exercise is independent of any potential move by LTAT to take Boustead private. The prosecution wants the penalties levied against ex-Prime Minister Dato' Sri Najib Razak for his role in the SRC international case to be increased. The Attorney General's Chambers Appeal Unit Head, Dato' Dusuki Mokhtar, confirmed with the EdgeMarkets.com that a notice of appeal had been filed last Friday against the sentences imposed by the KL High Court 2 weeks ago. Najib was sentenced to 12 years jail and fined 210 million ringgit after Justice Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali convicted him of 7 charges of criminal breach of trust, money laundering and abuse of power, involving 42 million ringgit of funds belonging to SRC International. This came about a week after the High Court ordered the Pekan MP to pay 1.69 billion ringgit in unpaid taxes. Najib is currently out on 2 million ringgit bail in 2 sureties pending appeal. He still faces 4 other criminal trials, including the 1MDB tenor trial and the audit tampering case. Titijaya Land says it is in the midst of proposing a diversification into healthcare products, including gloves supply. The property developer said this in response to an unusual market activity query by Bursa Securities on the sharp jump in its share price recently. It said that it is also in the midst of discussion with a local producer for the aforesaid supply. The company's share price had climbed 140% over the past 5 days, as trading volume surged to 70 times its 200-day average of 1.83 million shares. By 5 p.m. today, however, it had pared some of its gains to close 10% lower at 69 sen. The proposed diversification aside, Titijaya Land had in April signed an agreement with China's Sinopharm Medical Equipment Quanzhou Company to collaborate on the sale of medical industry-related equipment and real estate. In June, it signed another agreement with Chinese outfit Sinomac Heavy Industry Corp to develop a facility to produce PPE-related fabric. Petronas reported a loss of around 17 billion ringgit in petroleum revenue from March until June this year, as the restrictions imposed during the MCO hurt demand for fuel. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said this in a brief written reply to a question from PH Kanga MP Tuan Nur Amin Ahmad in Parliament on the loss of petroleum income throughout the period. Muhyiddin also said Putrajaya has no intention of amending the Petroleum Development Act 1974 at this point in time. During the early stage of the MCO, the price of Brent crude oil fell to $20 and 37 cents per barrel in early March, its lowest level this year, from $51.80 in February. It's now hovering just over the $45 per barrel mark. The The FBM KLCI closed down 6.92 points or 0.44% at 1,564.74 today, while trade volume across Bursa Malaysia rose to another record high of 27.8 billion securities against a confluence of factors including higher crude oil prices. The energy index, which tracks shares of oil and gas-related firms, was the top percentage gainer among Bursa gauges, while Sapura Energy was the most active stock across the exchange with a record high volume of over 4 billion shares. Areka Capital CEO Danny Wong notes that it was mostly penny stock trading that boosted volume on Bursa, with total trade value standing at just 7.8 billion ringgit. He told theedgemarkets.com that the market is not certain about the direction. It's typically the retailers taking profit. There's also been rotational play, he said, and today it's on oil and gas counters. Wong expects the market to remain volatile with high trading volume as retail investors dominate trading.